Okay guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create the valve. Now this part is in the metric system, so make sure that you go up here to the ENUS, double click on the metric system, and then choose Standard IPT. This part that we are creating is going to be revolved around a center axis, and make sure that when we draw this that we are using our planes to our advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and create my sketches on the YZ plane. Now the thing about this drawing that will help you to kind of visualize this is that I think the section that we are drawing looks like a reindeer. So if you just kind of draw the general shape of a reindeer, then you will see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start with the snout or the head of the reindeer, go down to create the legs, and then come back to create the body, and then the back legs up, the body, and then the little antlers up at the top. Okay, and it does have this angled edge, and this looks to me like a deer or a reindeer. Okay, here's our head, here's our horns, and our two legs, and our body. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start dimensioning this. So we're going to give it its overall diameter, but remember that we are working with the radius because we are revolving it. So we have to divide every diameter that we see by half. So the total diameter is 120, which means that the radius is 60. And then we can work our way down. This top of the body or the back is going to be 70 or 35. And then this inner where the foot is, this is going to be 42 or 21. Okay, then we also have this diameter right here. This is going to be 62 or 31. Okay, so now that we have that, we can go ahead and start adding in our distances. But first I need to lock in my drawing, so I'm going to either choose my horizontal or my vertical constraint. The reason why it's either or is because Inventor likes to flip-flop them. Just make sure that you're looking at the dotted line that pops up, and we're just going to make sure that everything is lined up and locked in with the origin. Okay, so the distance between legs here, this is going to be 20. And if this happens, don't worry, we're just going to pull this out and continue adding dimensions. This right here is 5. I'm sorry, this is 4. And this, not that, this right here is 4. Okay. The snout comes out from the antlers 8. And from the front of the antlers to the back, this is 28. Okay, and then it has an angle of 15, so I'm just going to click here. Make sure that you click on the lines, not the points, and this is going to be 15 degrees. And then our last few dimensions that we need is the diameter for this. The inside is going to be 35. And I can just drag this up, and from here to the center, this is going to be 74 divided by 2, which should be 37. Okay, so once you have everything that looks like this skinny little reindeer, we can go ahead and finish our sketch. Zoom out so we can see everything that's happening, and we're going to click on Revolve. Okay, Inventor automatically sees the profile. All we have to do is tell it what to revolve around. Every revolution that we have created, we've revolved around something that is already there, but the axis that we're going to be using, if I go up here to the plus sign on origin and then scroll down and select my Z axis, it will automatically create that revolution for us. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and put a sketch here, and this is going to be just something that I'm going to put a point on and then dimension that point from the center, and that point will be at 50 millimeters. Okay? Then once you have that, finish your sketch, go to hole. Inventor automatically sees that hole or that point as the center, and we're going to change this diameter to 10, and it sees it where we want to put it, and say OK. Now this has a pattern. We only have eight of these holes. We've only made one, so instead of drawing 8 individual circles, we're going to go to the circular pattern button, and I'm going to select hole 1 as my feature, and my rotation axis, I can choose any of these circular or cylindrical features because they all have the same center. And we're going to tell Inventor that we need 8 of these and say OK. And there are our 8 holes for our reindeer valve. The next thing that we need to do after creating our object is we need to place it on a sheet. So I'm going to bring in my base, and I'm going to click right here, and I only need my front view. I can make it larger. This is a good size right here, and I'm going to create a half section. So I'm going to go to section. I'm going to select this view. I'm going to hover over my center point, and then just go straight up and hover about right here, click, go to the center, click, and then go straight out to the right, click, and say continue, and then click right there. If this label is in your way, which it is in my case, and because I don't need to identify it really because there's only one view, I can click on it and drag it and put it somewhere in this gray area, and that is fine. So now that we have moved this away, I want to show you a new way to put a circular center line. Because we have all of these circles or all of these holes that have the same center and are following a pattern, I'm going to click on this button right here that says centered pattern. The first thing that Inventor wants to know is where is the center. So I can click on the circle, or I can click on this center point. I'm going to click on the circle, and then I'm just going to go ahead and click on each individual circle as I make my way around, clicking on that final one, the one that I started with, and then I'll right click create, and here is my centered pattern. Okay, it is now your responsibility to continue to create all of the different dimensions that you guys see on this drawing. The last thing that you need to add before turning this in is put in a note that says metric. And I'm just going to make it bold so that way we see it. Increase the size, and then just kind of have it floating somewhere about right here. This is kind of not in the way of anything, or I can put it up here, and this just helps to identify which system or which measuring system to use when you're looking at this. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.